Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat mga kababayan. Araw-araw na nakatutok sa ating programa para makibalita sa mga pinakauling hakbang ng ating pamahalaan kontra sa COVID-19. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, Secretary Martin Andanar mula sa PCOO. Good morning, Rocky.
Good morning, Secretary. Mula pa rin sa PCOO. Ako naman po si Under Secretary Rocky Ignacio. Kasama ninyong aalam sa totoo at tamang impormasyon tungkol sa pandemyang kinakaharap ng ating bansa.
Basta laging handa at sama-sama, kaya natin ito. Kaya naman, Bayan, halina't samahan nyo kami dito sa public briefing #LagingHandaPH. Maya-maya lamang mga kasama rin nating magbabalita sina John Mogol mula sa Philippine Broadcasting Service, si Ala Sungduan mula sa PTV Cordillera, at si Jay Lagang ng PTV Davao. Para sa ibang balita, ang maging vigilant ay patuloy na sumunod sa mga health protocol sa kadahilanang hindi pa natatapos ang COVID-19 pandemic sa bansa. Ito ang naging paalala ni Senador Bongo sa publiko matapos ideklara ni Pangulong Duterte ang implementasyon ng General Community Quarantine sa Metro Manila at sa mga piling lugar gaya ng Pangasinan, Baguio City, Region 2, Region 3 at Region 4A base na rin sa rekomendasyon ng Interagency Task Force o IATF. Samantala, mananatiling nasa ilalim na Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine ng Cebu City sa Kabisayaan. Sa ilalim ng GCQ ay mas marami ng negosyo ang magbubukas at magkakaroon ng limitadong transportasyon. Ngunit hindi raw ibig sabihin na kapag GCQ ay maaari na tayong magliwaliw at mamasyal. Ang pakikiisa at pagkakaroon naman ng disiplina ng bawat isa sa atin ay malaking tulong upang tuluyan nating malampasan ang COVID-19 pandemic at umusad na tayo sa tinatawag na new normal.
Samantala, para naman mas mapalakas pa ang healthcare system sa bansa, partikular na ang kapasidad ng mga pampublikong hospital at serbisyong medikal sa mga probinsya kontra COVID-19 ay kasalukuyang isinusulong sa Senado ang House Bill 6036 at House Bill 6144 para sa dagdag na bed capacity at pagpapalakas ng kapasidad ng mga local hospital sa Las Piñas at Tuguegarao City. Ito umano'y makakatulong din para maging matagumpay ang Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program ng pamahalaan. Samantala, silipin na muna natin ang pinakahuling bilang ng COVID-19 cases sa Pilipinas. As of 4 p.m. kahapon na itala ang 18,997 COVID-19 positive sa bansa. 359 ang mga bagong kaso kung saan 176 sa mga ito ang fresh cases habang 183 naman ang late cases. 84 naman ang nadagdag sa recoveries ng bansa sa kabuuang bilang na 4,063 habang umabot naman sa 966 ang kabuuang bilang ng mga nasawi matapos itong madagdagan ng 6 kahapon. Samantala, ang buong rehiyon naman ng Southeast Asia ay nakapagtala ng 94,211 confirmed COVID-19. 45,351 total recoveries at 2,834 ang total deaths. Nananatiling walang casualty sa mga bansang Vietnam, Cambodia, Timor-Leste at Laos. Ayon naman sa Johns Hopkins University, as of 5:30 a.m., nasa 6,339,005 na ang kabuang bilang ng mga nagpositibo sa sakit sa buong mundo, kung saan nangunguna pa rin ang Estados Unidos na sinusundan ng Brazil, Russia, United Kingdom at Espanya. Samantala, nasa ika-39 na pwesto pa rin ang Pilipinas sa may pinakamataas na kaso sa buong mundo.
Para po sa inyong katanungan at concerns tungkol sa COVID-19, maaari nyo pong i-dial ang 02894-COVID o kaya 02894-26843. At para naman sa mga PLDT Smart Sun at TNT subscribers, i-dial po ang 1555. Maaari nyo ring tawagan ang hotline numbers ng iba't ibang ahensya ng ating pamahalaan na makikita nyo sa inyong TV screens. Patuloy po kayong makibalita sa mga pinagkakatiwalaang sources ng impormasyon tungkol sa COVID-19. Maaari niyong bisitahin ang covid19.gov.ph. Makakapanayan po natin ngayong umaga sina DOST Secretary Fortunato de la Peña, Land Bank President and CEO Cecilia Borromeo, at si Philippine Ambassador to India Ramon Bagatsing Jr.
Sa ating mga manonood, kung may nais po kayong itanong sa ating mga resource person, ay i-comment lang po sa ating live feed at sisikapin po natin itong bigyan ng kasagutan.
Simulan na natin ang ating public briefing kasama si DOST Secretary Boy de la Peña. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Secretary Boy.
Secretary, magandang umaga, Sec Martin and Yusek Ignacio.
Napakalaga po ng science and technology sa mga panahong ito. Gayon din po ang research and development para mahanap ang solusyon o gamot sa COVID-19. How is the local R&D faring in the country as of now, spearheaded by the Department of Science and Technology?
Well, we are still in the stage wherein we are trying some natural products that can be therapeutics or can speed up the recovery of our COVID-19 patients. I think I've mentioned this before. We have been trying VCO in 2 locations. We have started already the formulations that will be tested initially in vitro for our tawa-tawa and lagundi, which has been known cures for other viral-related diseases. And we are, of course, now doing our negotiations for the collaboration in vaccine trials with at least 4 institutions, 2 coming from China and 2 coming from Chinese Taipei. It can increase to 5. And of course, we have already started the studies related to virology, not necessarily or not exclusively for COVID-19 alone, but for other viruses, because this is already a part of our preparations for the setting up of a Virology Science Institute of the Philippines, which we proposed will be created by legislation.
Ang Philippine Textile Research Institute started its mass production of a reusable, washable, and rewearable o rewear masks para sa ating mga frontliners. How far are we in the production? At ito ba'y nagagamit ng mga frontliners natin?
Opo, actually the main beneficiary of the mass production of our rewearable, reusable, rewashable mask is really the frontliners, the health workers, and those of the checkpoints and other categories of frontliners. So I reported last week that we are still in the 10,000 per week production. Because we are still looking for more operators which would be doing the sewing, but we expect that the volume will go to about 50,000 per week by the end of June. Our target production initially is 500,000. We have already earmarked half of it for the frontliners in cooperation with the task force that is taking charge of logistics, and of course the rest that we will produce will be part of the stockpiling of inventory of masks by the Philippine government. The benefit from this mask is that, as I mentioned, reusable, rewearable, and we have made sure that it passes the requirements. First of all, it requires water repellency of the textile material, and this is being done by applying a certain compound And of course, we are preparing the use of natural textile like cotton. So most of the materials that we are using now are donations from companies in the Philippines, and in fact, even the materials that we have used for the compounds are were also donated. So we are looking now for more collaborators who will be doing the sewing. Most of our production now is coming from the sewers of Taytay and also from Cavite. And we expect to have more collaborators for this.
Isa po sa priority project ngayon ng DOST ay ang Gen Amplify Coronavirus 2019 RT-PCR test kits distributed by the group of Dr. Raul Destura. Ano na po ang update dito at ilan po yung daily production? Saan sa ang ospital nakakarating ang test kits na ito at gaano po daw ito ka-accurate?
Lilinawin ko lamang po na nagkaroon po tayo ng problema dahil yung una pong imported na raw material ay nagkaroon ng contamination. So yan po ginamit at pinalitan naman po ng ating supplier. Actually, hindi lang naman ang Pilipinas ang naapektuhan, ang daming sinuplayan. So when the new materials came in, ni-require na naman uli ng bagong validation through our ITM and eventually FDA. So while in Manila Health Tech, the promised 6,000 tests, it is waiting for a clearance again from FDA, another round of clearance because of the new shipment that of materials that we have. But the production itself is hitting 8,000 tests per day.
Okay, Secretary. DOST has also been collaborating with other agencies, Secretary, gaya po ng Presidential Assistant for OFW Affairs para po bigyan ng assistance package ang ating mga overseas Filipino workers at kanilang pamilya para po doon sa tinatawag na technology-based enterprises. Please tell us more about this po.
Oo. Well, we are of course looking after the welfare of our OFWs, and therefore we package a project that is specifically intended for them, and this is really for starting new enterprises which are technology-based. When I say technology-based, it can take a wide range. It can be, for example, in food processing, it can be in metalworking or fabrication, it can be in electronics, it can be in furniture and other housewares. It can even be in the field of agriculture, and of course they can also do services because many of our OFWs have gained certain technical and professional expertise abroad. We have some examples already of those that we have helped in the past, but now we are putting up a program specifically for this. So, for example, there were those who formerly were working as seafarers, and now they are into food processing, into furniture making, and others have formed their own engineering design services companies. So these are engineers who work abroad, and when they came back, they set up their own professional services company. I have known a good example who was really who learned very good automation skills when he was still there, and he put up a startup here. Now they employ more than 200 people in the engineering company. So our assistance will be in two phases. One is really prepare them, first give them some kind of a test for entrepreneurial competencies, and then give them some training on entrepreneurship, and then help them in identifying which enterprise they want to enter into. And in this particular aspect, we will give them access to our laboratories, to our pilot plants at the OST, and also with our network organizations and companies. And then we have a pool of advisors that will help them until they come up with a good business plan. From there, we can go into the second phase where financing will already be involved. But when we talk of financing, it's not only for the purchase of equipment, but it will be including those that are involved, for example, in the product development phase, in the laboratory testing phase, in getting, for example, whatever technology licenses are needed to be taken in. And so initially we are testing it at the NCR region, at the National Capital Region, but we will soon move out to the provinces. So this is both a support for our OFWs and also some kind of a support to all Balik Provincia, because we have many OFWs that are going home to their respective home provinces.
Bukod po dito ay may assistance din ginagawa ang DOST para sa mga MSME sa pamagitan ng inyong set-up program. What exactly is this program? At anong klaseng assistance ang ibinibigay ng DOST sa mga MSME?
Well, it is a long-running program. It has been in existence since 2003, and it has been one of the most popular programs that we have. Set up means small enterprises technology upgrading program. And here, again, it is a package of assistance to existing firms. It should be at least a 3-year-old firm that has been in existence. And again, it can cover a wide range of technology-based businesses, as I mentioned earlier. Now, but the focus of our assistance really is to help them identify how they can improve their productivity, their quality, and their capacity. So most of the interventions here are really going into the acquisition of equipment for better technology, for expansion, and also for good quality. And the assistance that we give is that we enable them to procure the needed hardware and also the software that accompanies them so that they can use this in their firms. And we give them, actually, we call this an advance, because the equipment that are purchased still belong to the OST until they have repaid without interest the amount that we advance for this. So it's not a loan, it's some kind of a lease purchase arrangement, but with no interest. We give them a 1-year grace period before they start their payments, and they do this on a monthly basis, giving them an allowance of 3 years. It can be a little more than 3 years if the amount involved is much bigger. But we have a very, very high collection rate in this case. Of course, during the COVID-19, we had to give them a further grace period, actually a moratorium on payments, total of 5 months moratorium.
Isa sa focus projects ng pamahalaan bilang long-term solution para tugunan ng high population density sa Metro Manila ang Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program, at ang DOST, NEDA at UP Foundation ay meron pong plano patungkol dito, itong New Growth Center Development Model. What exactly is this at paano po ito makakatulong sa ating mga kababayan?
Well, it started 2 years ago. I have been attending meetings at NEDA, particularly in support of the passage of the Land Use Act. And they always talk about comprehensive land use planning. And I thought that DOST can contribute. I did not announce this to them, but at DOST we commissioned a research, actually a model development that was done by the Planades Foundation, which is affiliated to the UP School of Urban and Regional Planning. So they have been working on this, and they were about to finish and to submit the model to us. It's just the training component that has been lacking, and a few data that they need to give us, maybe to the tune of remaining 10%. So we thought that this can be used in the Balik Probinsya program. And true enough, the model that they have focuses on identifying the so-called drivers of growth in our provinces. So starting with 18 independent variables, they did the correlation and found out that there were 9 drivers of growth in the provinces. It can be the era, it can be the nearness to airports and seaports, it can be the closeness to economic zones, etc. And so testing the model, they use this to identify 20 new growth centers. When we talk of new growth centers, it's really a mix of agro-industrial development. And these top 20 provinces have been identified. And then they also have a portion in the model where they can project the increase in population in these newly growing centers. And so they projected the growth in population in those 20 provinces that they have identified to the model, and tested or validated the actual increase in population versus the actual versus the predicted. And so this now is the basis for forecasting the number of households that will be going, or the increase in the number of households that will require new housing, okay? And therefore this will be a good instrument, particularly for our housing agencies, to plan for, and of course to the LGUs, to plan for the housing requirements in their newly urbanizing areas. But on top of this, the model also can help in simulating the direction or the growth in the other aspects, like in terms of the transportation requirements, in terms of the industrial zone locations, or the industrial growth locations, and other areas. So they came up with the testing of this model in the #1 province in the top 20 that was the result of the model testing, and it was actually the province of Cebu. So they tried it, and we have now outputs for the province of Cebu. When I presented this to NEDA, Acting Secretary Carl Chua, he was hoping that we can produce all the results for all the 20 provinces. But I said that the contract between us and the Planades group was only to come up with the model, to test it in one particular province, and also to conduct the training for LGUs who want to avail of this model, and also to come up with the manuals or the guidelines that will be needed. So we will be scheduling some kind of a webinar, a launching, so that LGUs who would like to use the model, this is the newly growing urban development model, can be given training on the use of it. And the OST will be on the assist, particularly through our offices.
Secretary, mainit na usapin din po sa education sector ang learning delivery system sa oras po na magsimula na ang academic year 2020-2021. Ano po yung adjustment na gagawin naman ng Philippine Science High School to comply to the AITF guidelines po?
Well, we of course assume the two scenarios depending on the decision of IATF. One is if they will not yet allow face-to-face classes, and therefore this will all be done through the use of distance learning materials, both electronic and printed, because there are also students who may be living in remote areas, and therefore we are not assured that there is connectivity in their areas. The problem of using the equipment, the computer, the laptop, can be solved. We can provide those who do not have yet, but this is actually a relatively small percentage at this point. But those where the connectivity is difficult, then we will be forced to produce or to use printed materials, and we will make sure that this will be delivered to their specific locations. Now, if there will be a decision to allow face-to-face interaction already, or face-to-face classes at some point in time, then we will go to blended learning. And this is a combination of the face-to-face learning in the classrooms and the distance learning mode. face-to-face will be the usual learning in the classroom mode, but the distance learning is as I have described. And since we are required to do physical distancing in the classrooms also, then the capacity that the classrooms that we have, for example, it is good for 30. We can only allow 15 students to come, and therefore they will be alternating in cycles. So if it's a two-week cycle, so 2 weeks, the students, half of the students or 50% will go to school and half will be doing distance learning. If circumstances or the situations dictate that the environment will, shall we say, it will be better for us to do a 1-month cycle, then we will do that. So the monitoring and testing of students will also be done online, monitoring and of course the performance testing. So we are prepared for it. The teachers are now preparing their materials. The parents are being consulted because the cycle will somehow also depend on the suggestions coming from our parents. So we are prepared for both decisions. One, where there will be no face-to-face classes yet, and second, if they will allow, and we just have to comply with the distancing second camp to class. For the main campus, we cannot even reach 50%. It will be only 1/3 or 33% who will be coming at one time.
Opo, Secretary, makikibalita na rin po kami doon sa Virgin Coconut Oil Clinical Trial na sinasabing makakatulong daw po na makapagpabili sa pagpapagaling sa mga COVID-19 patient. Kumusta na po to at ano na po ang update natin dito?
Well, dalawa po yung location natin. Ang good news, yung pong sa PGH, which is for moderate and severe cases, ay inapruban na finally ng Ethics Board ng UP Manila. So I am just waiting for the report that they have already started. Wala pong problema sa number of patients sa PGH. No? Ang hinintay lang natin ay yung go signal from the Ethics Board. And the period for giving the BCO in PGH is only 14 days to test whether it has a good effect on the patient. So as I have indicated earlier, we are planning, or they are planning for 100 patients. Half will be on BCO and half will be not be given BCO, so for comparison purposes. Now, the one that we are contacting in Santa Rosa, while it has started already almost a month ago, the arrival of patients is relatively slow, okay? And so we cannot still meet the 90 recommended number of patients to be enrolled. And what we did was to include 2 other shall we say, hospitals or centers who have patients. And fortunately, Medical City has set up just 2 weeks ago a facility in Santa Rosa, and they agreed that they will participate. And then also the quarantine center of Santa Rosa will also be a source of additional patients. This is for the case na hindi sila masyadong severe. Ito yung mga mild pa lang at saka yung tinatawag nating
Alright. Naputol. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagpapaunlak, Secretary Boy de la Peña ng DOST. Mabuhay po kayo. Samantala, sa pinakauling ulat ay umabot na sa ika-7 pwesto ang bansang India sa may pinakamaraming kaso ng COVID-19 sa buong mundo. Gaya na lang ng ating bansa, maraming buhay at kabuhayan ang naapektuhan dito, kabilang na ang Filipino community. Kumustahin natin ang kalagayan ng ating mga kababayang OFW sa India. Kasama po natin sa linya si Ambassador to India, Ambassador Ramon Bagatsing Jr. Magandang araw po sa inyo, sir, mula dito sa Pilipinas.
Magandang umaga, Secretary Handa. Magandang umaga, Undersecretary Ignacio. At magandang pagkakataon po mapaliwanag sa ating mga kababayan ngayon ang sitwasyon dito sa India. Ngunit maswerte tayo in the sense na hindi naman ganun karami ang mga OFW. As a matter of fact, India is number one in the Middle East in terms of labor providers. Kakompetensya natin ng India sa bagay na yan. At dito naman ay mga na-stranded dito ay yung mga seafarers, no? And they're mostly in Mumbai and they're mostly working in the cruise ships. So we're very fortunate in that sense na compared to the Middle East and in some Southeast Asian countries that we don't have that much OFWs here. And the few that are here are in the construction, high-tech companies, and they're doing very well. So it's not really much of a concern for us. Most of them are secure and safe. They have been getting in touch with us. They have been communicating with us. And they have been telling us that they are okay and that none of them or very few of them are really interested in going home right now. But we're also very lucky that I think about 2 weeks ago we were able to ferry at least 70 seafarers who work for the different cruise lines from Mumbai. And nandiyan na sila sa atin sa Pilipinas ngayon. At swerte rin tayo sa kasalukuyan dahil nakapag-uwi na tayo ng mga mahigit 160 na mga kababayan natin. At meron pa siguro mga 100 na stranded and just a few seafarers. Kaya I really understand the situation of those who are from the Middle East and Southeast Asia. But atin sa India, malaking bagay na tumutulong ang Philippine community. Most of them are married to Indian men. And they're very secure, they're very stable here, and they're helping a lot, taking care of those that have been stranded. Ang issue natin ito are the strategists and the students and some missionaries that are here. Dahil kukunti ang mga flights papuntang Pilipinas, hindi basta-basta na nakakauwi sila. Kaya inaasahan namin na sana matuloy ang programa ng Philippine Airlines na magkaroon ng ferry flights next week. And then of course yung Air India ang ginamit natin na mag-ferry ng mga Filipino passengers, no? For first and second week of May. Phase 3, magkakaroon sila. So mga bandang June 23, sa tulong ng Panginoon, magkakaroon tayo ng ferry flights. And of course yung napakiusapan natin si Secretary Lorenzana na dahil meron tayong isang barko na nasa Oman, napakiusapan natin na pag-uwi sa Pilipinas, dumaan dito sa India at dito kumuha mga ilan pasahero na mga stranded at may isang Filipino-American na nag-donate ng 200,000 face mask na isakay natin dyan sa Philippine Navy ship, yung Davao del Sur, at saka yung isa pang kanilang barko na Ramon Alcaraz. So we were able to send through those Navy ships 200,000 face masks na sa tulong ni Mr. Dantes ng Philippine Embassy dito. At nakasakay tayo ng ilang mga pasahero, about 19, and then they're going to Sri Lanka to pick up more stranded Filipinos there. And I presume by the middle of next week they will be there in Manila already. So we're very fortunate in that sense na maraming tumutulong, and we hope that by the end of the month, at least mabawasan na ito ng mga stranded dito sa atin, and then we can focus also dahil hawak din natin Secretary ang Nepal. I'd like to make mention that those that are in Nepal, there are about a dozen of them. We're taking care of that also, but because lockdown din sa Nepal, wala ring international flights. So they cannot move. And even here in India, they don't have international flights unless it is a chartered flight. Ngayon lang sila nag-umpisa ng mga domestic flights going from one major city to another. So if you have to go to Delhi, travel, or at least now, may domestic flights na. So far so good. At nagpapasalamat kami sa lahat ng tumulong sa amin na ipauwi natin ang ibang mga kababayan natin, Martin.
Ambassador, isa po ang India sa hard hit ng COVID-19 with almost 200,000 COVID-19 positive cases. Ano po ang current situation ngayon dyan po sa India, sa base po sa inyong nakikita?
Well, as you said, 200,000 now positive cases and only about 5,600 deaths. No? and they are now under what we call lockdown phase 4. Kasi every 2 weeks, nagka-lockdown 1 sila, then they improve. If the situation improves, they ease some of the lockdown measures. So now at this stage, dati essential services lang, hospital lang. Ngayon, they've opened up some stores, na standalone stores. They are now allowing mobility of people. May mga tawag dito, mga tricycle nila na pwede nang sa kalsada. They eased up the curfews. Dati alas 7 ng gabi curfew na. Ngayon ginawa nila alas 9 hanggang alas 5. And then pinapayagan nila kasi ang problema dito, maraming mga migrants na sinasabi. Nagtatrabaho sa big cities pero nakatira sa mga probinsya. Ito yung nakikita mo sa TV ngayon ng mga stranded dahil walang paraan makauwi sa probinsya. So ngayon, itinan nila ng maraming sasakyan, mga bus, mga trains, para makasakay ito, mga trabado na ito, makauwi sa probinsya. And this is the reason probably why there is now a spike, no? Tumataas na naman. In some states, there are at least 28 states dito. So may mga ibang na kontrolado nila ang COVID. Pero may mga ibang states, kasi for example, Uttar Pradesh, ang citizens yan, ang resident, 200 milyon, mas marami pa sa Pilipinas, isang probinsya lang. So sa dami ng tao, tumataas talaga ang incidence ng COVID. Sa Maharashtra, ang population ng Maharashtra ay parang population ng Pilipinas. There are about 100 plus million people. So, ang Mumbai nandyan. High density yung lugar na yan. So, tumataas na naman. For example, in Maharashtra around, ang COVID incidence yan is 70,000. Kumpara sa atin, ilan lang tayo. Just imagine, no? So, because of that, we have to be really extra careful. Although, nag-i-ease na nga dito, sumusunod naman ng mga tao, may disiplina naman ng mga tao dito. But just because of sheer volume and the sheer density, hindi maiiwasan na there are some states na tumataas. So, ang mga Pilipino naman hindi naman talaga lumalabas, hindi palaikot, hindi at sumusunod sa mga patakaran na inuutos ng pamahalaan. So, we don't have any Filipino here ay nagkaroon ng COVID-19. So, swerte tayo dyan. At iingat sila. But right now, as I said, hopefully the lockdown will be eased. There will be international flights. There will be more movements. There will be more facilities that will be open. Kasi ang mga malls dito, sarado pa. If ever bubuksan nila yan, yung mga nasa labas lang. O kaya alternate. Bukas ka ngayon, sarado ka bukas. Tapos ang mga sasakyan, mga limited buses din. No? So basically, the same things as what is happening there in the Philippines. Well, the restrictions will be lifted quite soon also.
Opo. Ambassador, currently po nagluwag nga ng restriction sa India except po dun sa 13 cities na itinuturing pong bilang containment zone dahil dito daw nagmumula yung karamihan sa nagpositibong kaso sa India sa COVID-19. May reports po ba tayo mula dito sa mga lungsod na to, yung kalagayan po ng ating mga Filipino community doon?
You know, we're very lucky, Secretary. No? As I said, we only have about 3,000 Filipinos, and 80% of them are housewives or married to Indians, or what we call the Middle East Romans. So, so far we have no reports of any Filipino or Filipina having been afflicted with this virus. And on the other hand, they have been the ones helping us a lot. Dahil kung may mga Pilipino na stranded halimbawa sa Mumbai, sa Bangalore, sa Calcutta, sa Chennai, and some other places, sa Kochi, ang mga Filipino community tumutulong. Sila nag-aalalay, sila nagpabahay, sila ang nagbibigay ng tulong, pagkain, lahat sa mga stranded na Filipino community. Of course, with the guidance and assist the embassy, of the staff here in the embassy. So in that sense, we're very, very fortunate. And they have been very, very supportive of the embassy and of the Filipinos that are stranded here in India.
Opo, Ambassador, bagamat tumutulong nga yung ating Filipino community dyan, pero may mga sinasabi ba silang problema o kadalasan nagiging problema ng ating Filipino community na sa India na kinakailangan naman pong tugunan ng ating embahada?
Most of the, hindi naman mabibigat ang mga problema dyan. Kadalasan dyan is basically passport renewals, passport extensions. And then once in a while, we will have some domestic issues. Yung mga mag-asawa, hindi na magkasundo, nag-aaway. Pupunta dito yung Pilipina na yun, hindi niya kasundo yung asawa niya. So yun ang mga kailangan na sikasuhin namin. And then sometimes repatriation na gusto nang umuwi. Ayun, tinutulungan din namin yun. And then magandang balita din dito sa atin ngayon, yung mga liver transplant patients. Marami mga bata dyan sa atin na kinakailangan ng liver transplant. No? So there are more than 50 cases now na pumupunta dito sa India para magpagamot dahil mas eksperyensado ang mga doktor dito. Hindi naman sa hindi magagaling ang mga doktor natin. No? Magagaling din ang mga Pilipino doktor. But they have more experience, they have more facilities here. So these liver transplant patients, the children come here for that operation and we're taking care of them. And so far, at least maganda, 75 to 80% ang success story. But so far as the local Filipino community here, no major problem. No major problem at all. And as a matter of fact, as I said, they have been helping the embassy in so many ways and in so many things. No? I'm very fortunate with that compared to other posts na hindi ganun kabigat. Walang problema dito ang Filipino community sa India.
Nabanggit niyo po kanina na nakabalik na sa kanilang mga trabaho ang karamihan ng mga manggagawa doon. How about the few Filipino workers in India? Hindi po ba sila nagkakaproblema sa kanilang hanap buhay?
Most of the Filipinos stranded here, Secretary, are stranded tourists, students, and yoga, enthusiasts. So they are not here as workers. Bibihira dito ang worker, no? Yung mga OFWs dito are under contract and they're in the provinces and they're all taken care of. They're all being handled well. Their contracts are okay. So we don't have any problems with them. Yung mga seafarers na alam ba, they work in the cruise lines or they work in several ships. Stranded yung barko nila sa Mumbai. Yan ang ating inaasikaso ngayon. And so far, we have been able to bring home mga 70. So there's just a few, siguro mga 10 or 15 na stranded sa Mumbai ngayon. At we have been communicating with them and we hope that if PAL will have the flight by, in the next 10 days, then these Filipinos will be on board. Other than that, wala. Siguro mabibilang mo ang mga Pilipino na nagtatrabaho dito, not more than 40. Yung, one of the, food companies, nagtayo ng kumpanya dito. Ayan, pero they're doing very well. And then there's another construction company, Filipino company in Chennai with a contract. They're doing very well. So, thank God we don't have issues with OFWs here in India.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong panahon, Ambassador Ramon Bagat Singh Jr. mula sa New Delhi, India. Mabuhay po kayo, Ambassador.
Maraming salamat, Secretary Handa, Undersecretary Ignacio. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataon na ito.
Samantala, Sekretary, sa gitna ng mga alituntunin na mahigpit na ipinatutupad ng ating pamahalaan ay isa sa mainit na usapin ang pagsisimula ng academic year at dahil nga sa pagbabagong inaasahang magaganap, inaasahan din ang posibleng pagbaba naman ang bilang ng mga enrollees para sa taong ito.
Kaya naman, ang utos ng Pangulong Duterte, tulungan ang mga estudyante na nangangailangan ng tulong sa pagbabayad ng matrikula sa pamagitan ng loan assistance mula sa Land Bank. Pag-uusapan natin yan kasama si Land Bank President and CEO, Ms. Cecilia Borromeo. Magandang araw po sa inyo, ma'am.
Magandang araw, Secretary Andanar at Yusek Ignacio. Magandang araw sa lahat ng nakikinig at nanonood sa Laging Handa, Pilipinas. At maraming salamat po sa pagkakataong ito para pag-usapan ng programa ng Land Bank na Access to Academic Development to Empower the Masses Towards Endless Opportunities or ACADEM program.
So can we talk about this more, itong naging payag po ng Presidente Duterte na ipinag-utos niya po ang inyong bangko na tulungan ng mga estudyanteng hirap na po sa pagbabayad ng tuition fee. Ano po ang reaksyon ng Land Bank dito?
Katunayan, Secretary Andanar, inilunsad ho namin ang academe program, lending program ng Land Bank noong first week ng May. Kasi alam namin na mga kababayan tayo na mahihirapan para tustusan yung tuition fee ng kanilang mga anak. So, ang ginawa po ng Land Bank, nakipag-ugnayan kami sa mga private schools, kasama na yung mga private junior and senior high schools na may permit to operate galing sa DepEd, yung ating mga private technical and vocational and education training institutions regulated naman ho ng TESDA, at pati na yung mga higher education institutions na authorized by CHED. Binansagan po namin ang features ng Academe as 333. Ang unang 3 po ay para sa 3 bilyon na inilaan ng Land Bank bilang pondo para sa programang Academe. Ang pangalawang 3 ay tukoy naman sa 3% fixed interest rate per annum sa mga schools na manghihiram under this program. At ang isa pang 3 ay nagre-representa ng term ng loan under this program na maximum of 3 years po. Term ng loan under the Academe. Ibibigay ho namin itong pautang na ito sa mga schools para makapag-offer sila ng study now, pay later sa kanilang mga estudyante.
Ma'am, sino-sino naman po yung sino-sino po yung eligible po na mag-a-apply sa loan program na ito at paano po yung proseso?
Ang magiging borrower po o manghihiram mula sa Land Bank ay ang mga pribadong paaralan o educational institutions. Ang mga magulang po at guardian ng ating mga estudyante o mag-aaral ay maaring manghiram sa mga schools na ito, private schools na ito, para yung mga schools naman na yan ay pupunta sa Land Bank at ipa-rediscount nila yung mga promissory notes ng kanilang mga mag-aaral. At pwede ho naming bigyan sila ng pautang equivalent to 70% of the total promissory notes of their students.
Pwedeng magsimula na mag-avail ang mga paaralan ng lending program na ito?
Meron na hong mga paaralan na lumapit sa Land Bank. Katunayan ho, meron na kaming in-approve na 250 million sa isang malaking school para makapagpautang sila under the Study Now, Pay Later scheme sa kanilang mga estudyante at 0% interest po sa students. At ang tenor naman ho ng loan ng estudyante dun sa school ay base na ho sa mapapag-usapan nila with the private school, Secretary.
Salamat po sa inyong panahon at ang nakasama po natin ay si Ms. Cecil Borromeo, ang Presidente at CEO ng Land Bank of the Philippines. Mag-ingat po kayo. Stay safe, ma'am.
Thank you, Yusek. Stay safe too. Thank you, Secretary.
Samantala, alamin po naman natin ang mga balita na kalap ng Philippine Broadcasting Service mula sa ating mga lalawigan. Please go ahead, John Mogol.
Yes, magandang tanghali, Sec Martin at Yusek Rocky. Sa ating mga balita, ang DTI Quezon bumuo ng team para magsagawa ng inspeksyon sa mga barbershop, salon, dine-in restaurant at fast food establishments na nasa ilalim ng GCQ. Mula po sa Radyo Pilipinas, Lucena, ang detalye ng balitang yan hatid ni Tom Alvarez.
COVID Radio. Hashtag Laging Handa. Radyo Pilipinas Special Coverage.
Bumuo ng team ng DTI Quezon na magsasagawa ng random inspection sa barbershops, salons, dining restaurants at fast food establishments na magsisimula magbukas sa darating na ika-7 ng Hunyo. Sa pakikipanayam kay DTI Quezon Business Development Division Chief Mrs. Ana Marie Quincina, sinabi niya na kapag may nahuli silang business establishments na lumabag sa pinalabas na guidelines ng minimum health protocols, ay kaagad-agad nilang ipatitigil ang operasyon nito. Papayagan lamang ito mag-resume ng operation kapag nakapag-comply na sa requirements na hinihingi ng kagawaran. Nanawagan din siya sa mga may-ari ng restaurants, fast food establishments, barbers at salons na huwag nang mag-aksepta ng panahon sa opisina ng DTI para humingi ng clearance para makapag-operate dahil ang business permit na inisyu ng local government unit ay sapat na. Pinaalalahanan din ni Mrs. Quincina ang customers na sumunod rin sa minimum health protocols ngayon GCQ para maiwasan ang pagkalat ng COVID-19. Samantala, ayon pa rin sa DTI, ay 30% lamang ang maximum capacity na pahihintulutan sa barbershops at salon sa ilalim ng GCQ at gagawin namang 50% capacity kung mapasa ilalim na sa MGCQ ang lalawigan. Mula sa lungsod ng Lucena, Tom Alvarez, Radyo Pilipinas.
COVID Radio. Laging handa. Radyo Pilipinas Special Coverage.
Maraming salamat, Tom Alvarez. Samantala, ang Iligan Diocese balik na po sa pagsasagawa ng misa matapos mailagay sa Modified General Community Quarantine ang kanilang lungsod. Mula Radyo Pilipinas Iligan, narito si Bima Minyoza.
COVID Radio. Laging handa. Radyo Pilipinas Special Coverage.
Balik na sa pagsasagawa ng banal na misa ang Diocese of Iligan matapos na mailagay sa Modified General Community Quarantine o MGCQ ang lungsod ng Iligan simula June 1, 2020. Ayon kay Bishop Jose Rapadas, ngayong pinapayagan na sa MGCQ ang pagsasagawa ng religious activities na pagdesisyonan na rin nila sa Parish Priest Council na ibalik na ang banal na misa, ngunit kailangang sumunod sa guidelines at protocols tulad ng physical o social distancing, paghugas ng kamay na may sabon at pagsuot ng face mask. Dagdag ni Bishop Rapadas, mayroon na silang inihandang mga protocols sa pagsasagawa ng public liturgical celebration sa sinasabi ngayong new normal at base na rin sa rekomendasyon ng Bishop Conference. Ilan dito ay ang mga bata, matatanda at mga may sakit ay hinikayat na manood na lamang sa live streaming mass at social media. Ang mga upuan sa loob ng simbahan pati na ang sahig ay dapat may markang may layong 2 metro upang mapanatili ang social distancing. Ang Sunday Masses, anticipated Masses at daily Masses ay paikliin lamang at gawing simple. Tiniyak naman ni Bishop Rapadas na ang simbahang Katoliko ay sinusuportahan ang ginagawa ng gobyerno upang labanan ang coronavirus disease o COVID-19. Gikan dinhi sa lungsod sa Iligan, Bima Minyoza, Radyo Pilipinas.
COVID Radio. Laging handa. Radyo Pilipinas Special Coverage.
At ayan po ang mga balitang nakalap natin dito sa Philippine Broadcasting Service mula po sa iba't ibang panig ng ating bansa. Balik tayo sa studio kina Sec Martin at Yusek Rocky.
Maraming salamat, John Mogol ng PBS.
Samantala, puntahan naman natin ang balitang nakalat ng PTV Davao kasama si Jay Lagang. Jay? Si Jay Lagang ng PTV
Rocky at Secretary Martin, dahil nga sa pagpapatuloy ng pagpapatupad o ng implementasyon ng General Community Quarantine dito sa Davao City ay patuloy rin ang pagpapatupad ng mahigpit na health screening sa mga entry points papasok ng lungsod. Yusek Rocky at Secretary Martin, matapos na pinayagang magbukas ang ilan sa mga establishmento dito sa Davao City sa ilalim na nga ng GCQ, ay mas dumami na rin ang mga tao at mga sasakyang pumapasok ngayon dito sa lungsod upang may pagpatuloy ang kanilang hanap buhay. Dahil dito ay nananatili pa rin mahigpit ang health screening na isinasagawa ng health workers ng lungsod dito sa Sirawan Checkpoint sa Turil District na nagsisilbing entry points ng mga tao na galing sa iba pang bahagi ng 3rd District ng Davao City at yung mga galing sa Davao del Sur at Davao Occidental. Isa-isang isinasailalim sa body temperature check, hand washing at pinapaapak sa foot bath ang mga individual. Hinahanapan pa rin ang Certificate of Employment ang ilan sa mga tao na nakatira sa labas ng Davao City upang masiguro na trabaho ang kanilang pagpasok sa lungsod. Yung mga residente naman mismo ng Davao City ay hinihingan pa rin ng Food and Medicine o FM Pass sa kanilang pagdaan sa naturang checkpoint. Samantala ay sinuguro naman ng District Health Office ng Turil District na nakahanda silang magsagawa ng Rapid Diagnostic Test o RDT sa mga makikita ng sintomas ng COVID-19 na dadaan sa Sirawan Checkpoint. Sa ngayon nga ay patuloy din ang serbisyo ng District Health Office sa naturang lugar upang mabigyan ng health certificate ang mga tao na muling babalik sa kanilang trabaho dito sa Davao City. Samantala, Yusek Rocky at Secretary Martin una naling nilinaw ng Davao City Legal Office doon sa mga empleyado na maaari naman nilang tanggihan yung utos ng kanilang mga employer na bumiyahe sila o yung work-related travel palabas ng Davao City kung dahil na rin sa banta ng COVID-19. Maliban na lamang doon sa mga trabaho na hindi maaaring gawin online o hindi maaaring gawin sa ilalim ng work arrangement na ipinapatupad ngayon. Samantala, Yusek Rocky at Secretary Martin, COVID update naman tayo dito sa Davao Region. As of June 2, ay nasa 353 na ang total confirmed COVID cases dito sa Davao Region. Samantala ay nananatili namang nasa 30 ang namatay dahil sa sakit at nasa 155 na ang nakaka-recover dahil sa COVID-19 dito sa Davao Region. Yan muna ang latest mula dito sa Davao City. Jay Lagang para sa Bayan.
Maraming salamat, Jay Lagang ng PTV Davao.
Mula sa Davao, silipin natin ang pinakauling balita sa Cordillera Region kasama si Ala Sungduan. Go ahead, Ala.
Secretary Martin at Yusek Rocky, umaani ng mga positibong reaksyon ang market-to-home services dito sa lungsod ng Baguio. Kaya naman isinusulong ang panukalang ordinansa para dito upang matiyak ang tuloy-tuloy na operasyon at maayos na pagpapatupad nito. Laking tulong para sa mga mamamayan sa lungsod ng Baguio, lalo na sa mga senior citizens, ang market-to-home services sa mga barangay. Di na kasi kailangan pang pumunta sa merkado publiko ng syudad para mamili ng mga bilihin dahil abot kamay na nila ito sa pagdala ng mga vendors ng kanilang mga paninda sa mga barangay sa mga itinakdang schedule. Ang mga positibong reaksyon ng mga residente ay kinatutuwa naman ng mga coordinators nito sa barangay at isa pang nagugustuhan nila ay ang halos magkapareho din namang presyo ng mabilihin sa market-to-home sa presyo sa palengke ng lungsod. Ang market-to-home services ay simulang ipatupad noong isinalalim sa Enhanced Community Quarantine ng Baguio sa buwan ng Marso. Ayon kay Baguio City Councilor Filian Wegan Alan, upang matiyak naman ang standard at maayos na operasyon ng market-to-home services na pinapatupad pa rin ngayon na sa ilalim sa modified GCQ ang lungsod, ay kailangang ma-institutionalize ito. Ang akda nitong panukalang ordinansa ay aprobado na sa second reading sa Sangguniang Panglungsod. Ang ordinansa ay bilang pagsuporta sa pagtugon ng publiko sa mga tuntunin sa stay-at-home policy, social distancing at hakbang upang mapanatiling buhay ang ekonomiya sa syudad sa panahon ng pandemya. Sa ilalim ng nasabing ordinansa, ang mga delivery services ay kailangang kumuha ng permit at magbayad ng mayor's permit ng hanggang 500 piso kada taon. Umaabot na sa 33 barangay ang inaabot ng market-to-home delivery services na mahigit 200 distribusyon at daily delivery ng sariwang karne, frozen foods, bigas, itlog, mga gulay, isda at iba pa.
Mabawasan na po kami sa sisikan sa palengke tuwing Tuesday at Friday, kasama ng District 10, 12, 16 at 20. Malayo na po kami sa karamihan, mas magiging madali pa for contact tracing kung may magkasakit man sa amin.
The market-to-home delivery ordinance is now on second reading for publication and after publication. So actually it's now being discussed in the social media. We are also discussing it in small groups and we hope that this will pass.
Bukod nga sa market-to-home services, ay pinapatupad din sa lungsod ng Baguio ang mga rolling stores. Katuwang ang Department of Trade and Industry, bilang hakbang pa rin ng lokal na pamahalaan laban sa COVID-19. Live mula dito sa Baguio City, Ala Sungduan para sa Bayan.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Ala Sungduan ng PTV Cordillera.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga naging panauhin ngayong araw at sa ating partner agency sa kanilang patuloy na support at walang sawang paghatid ng balita at impormasyon. Maraming salamat din po sa Filipino Sign Language Access Team for COVID-19 sa inyong araw-araw na pakikiisa sa ating programa. Mabuhay po kayo.
Diyan po nagtatapos ang ating programa para sa araw na ito. Ako po muli ang inyong lingkod, Secretary Martin Andanar mula sa Presidential Communications Operations Office.
At mula pa rin po sa Presidential Communications Operations Office, ako naman po si Yusek Rocky Ignacio.
Hanggang bukas pong muli dito sa public briefing, #LagingHanda PH.
Kaya natin to, kaya natin to.